How's it going, everybody? Chadley here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the buff that the Breath of the Dying received with yesterday's hotfix. It was one of 3 weapons buffed, so we have the Breath of the Dying, the Hellwalker, and also the Chaos Assault Rifle. All 3 of those were buffed. I covered the Hellwalker yesterday, so if you guys missed that, definitely go check it out. But otherwise today we're going to be covering the Breath of the Dying. Now this weapon received a buff that was more than just the straight base damage being increased. It received a couple things, one being 127% increase to its base damage. Also the orbs from it now have increased damage, and also the collision radius on them is larger, so they're more likely to hit things. So you can actually be much more efficient with your mobbing, and also for certain boss kills when there's enemies around them, you can actually hit the bosses much easier. And overall, this buff is actually really good. Now, I've had a lot of success with this URAD version, also consecutive hits, and also next to mags bonus corrosive. You can use 200 splash, this can roll with that, but that is only going to affect the orb damage. So maybe for some super specific scenarios where you're trying to get the orbs to do as much damage as possible, 200 splash is going to be the anointment for you. But most of the time, those aren't really going to be your main things, as they can be a little unreliable. Sometimes they just won't spawn because it has to be the corrosive damage from the Breath of the Dying to kill them, not like your bonus elements and stuff like that. But otherwise, this usually seems to work pretty well. Even with the URAD, it does create orbs pretty darn often. Now, I have tried this on all of the characters, and I definitely like it best on Flak so far, especially on our Antmaster Flak build with the URAD. It just tears through everything. If you guys want to get your hands on this weapon, you can go farm Blinding Banshee on Necro to fail, and you guys will be good to go. But otherwise, let's see how this weapon is doing. We're going to start here on Athena, like always, because it is the easiest part, and then we're going to go Malawan True Takedown, and then Guardian True Takedown, and see how it is stacking up. So right now, you can see it is just tearing through enemies. Now, on other characters, it does not seem to shred quite as fast. Flak just obviously has a lot of high damaging skills and stuff like that. And also the URAD definitely helps as well. But for Amara, I didn't like it a ton. Moze, it definitely works pretty darn well. And also Zane's clone can make pretty darn good use out of it. Also, if you had a Sentinel Cryo version, that would work pretty well as well. Yeah, as we can see, it is definitely more than doing the job here on Athena, so I'm not going to waste much more time here, and let's go ahead and jump over to True Malawan Takedown. Alright, so without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and see how well this weapon does on these slightly beefed up enemies, and then we'll move over to the Guardian Takedown. I'm also going to show you guys the Kraken kill and how you can make use of the orbs and certain bosses like the Kraken. The Kraken is actually one of the easier ones to do it with, where you can kill him with the orbs and practically insta-kill him. But otherwise, we can see these enemies really don't even seem to be dying any slower than the Athena's enemies do here on Flak. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and finish up these last few enemies and then show you guys the super quick kill that you can get on like the Kraken with this gun. It's kind of nuts. So right there, you can see just with killing one of the enemies that was next to him, we just insta-kill the Kraken and basically everything else over here. It's a little insane how much damage those orbs do, but otherwise, let's go ahead and jump over to the True Guardian Takedown and see if it can hold up to what like the Hellwalker could do yesterday. Now over here in the Guardian True Takedown, we're going to be testing it out, and I don't really have quite as high hopes as I did with the Hellwalker. It just felt like it was doing a little bit less than what that was able to do. Now obviously we are using this corrosive weapon on flesh targets here, so it's really not the greatest, but I also don't have any sort of damage skills stacked up. This is obviously going to be used best in the armor scenarios, and it definitely does not feel like this is something that is going to be fitting the Guardian Takedown, even though it's really powerful in a lot of other scenarios, but just not quite here. Even during like the Guardians and stuff like that, they're super slender, and it's gonna be really hard for like the orbs to really hit anything. And it's just overall not really going to be the greatest use for this gun, but the Malawan Takedown, this gun works absolutely amazing. So if you guys need a weapon for that, that's where I would be using it. So yeah, guys, my overall opinion of the Breath of the Dying buff, I think it's a very good buff. It definitely adds some diversity for like the Malawan Takedown. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fit the style of play that is required for the Guardian Takedown. which is quite unfortunate. Maybe with like DLC 4 and some future stuff, this thing can fit in a little bit better. Maybe we'll have some more armored targets to take out. But otherwise, this gun works very, very well on Flak. Amara, I had some decent luck with it. Moze, it works very, very well, especially with like a green monster or something like that. Also, Zane's clone, like I said, makes very good use out of it. So definitely go ahead and give it a try on all your different characters. See if you like it yourself. Yeah, guys, hopefully you found this video helpful. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel for more weapon reviews. Also, next week with DLC 4, we're going to have a ton of new builds and updated builds to be going over. So definitely make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.